How's it, guys? This is Dayvy FPL and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video we're going to be going over the Game Week 17 team selection as well as taking a look at how my team got on in Game Week 16. So hopefully your Game Week 16 was good and that you saw a green arrow into this festive period. The green arrows are very important as now we can kind of get a good justification of our rank and we can kind of get a good representation of what our rank should be looking like at the end of the season if we hopefully get a lot more green arrows into the second half of this FPL season. So as you can see on screen, this video is being recorded before the Arsenal versus West Ham fixture, so maybe some of those players will be finding them way into this dream team, but as I said, I'm recording this before, so I don't know. If you do have players in that Arsenal versus West Ham game, hopefully they did perform quite well for you and there weren't that many surprises that hopefully won't cause that many transfer decisions. I don't own any West Ham versus Arsenal players, but we'll talk about that later as we see how I did in Game Week 16. We have had our first sponsorship on the Dayvy FPL channel, so thanks a lot to OneFootball. OneFootball is a footballing app that gives you live notifications of the games that you're following, so it makes the perfect FPL companion app, and I've been using it for a couple of years now, and that's why I was happy to do a sponsorship with them as I use the product. So down below there's a link for all you need to know about OneFootball. You can go download the app on iOS or Android. It's completely free, so no commission or anything here, so you don't have to worry about that, but I use it, so should you. So on the keeper position, Guaita, I think for the second time in the 2 game weeks, he's appearing as the team of the week goalkeeper. 10 points there, lovely bonus as well. So congratulations to those of you who did bring him in, especially if it was for the likes of Pope, who saw a 0-point appearance this game week. So that looks like quite a net gain if that was your transfer. Going on with the rest of the defense, we do have some surprises here. Baldock, a player we've been talking about recently. If you did double up on him, congratulations, as Baldock got the points in that Sheffield United defense when Lundstrom did not, as Sheffield United, as you know, did concede. But Baldock with some bonus points and a goal there, if I do recall, so quite a nice defender to own. Vertonghen also coming in there with 11 points and Fernandes with 9 points after a really nice goal there for Newcastle. Going on to the midfield, we do have 2 Liverpool players, but unfortunately it was not the popular pick of Sadio Mane. We have Naby Keita with 14 and Mohamed Salah with 13. Both had a goal and an assist with a couple bonus points there, so that looks quite good. Also Heung-min Son, I think another appearance from the Korean forward, again in this team of the week with 12 points, and then Martial with 10. Going up front we have Kane, a player that a lot of people did transfer out. Quite unlucky if you did transfer out and he managed to bang 16 points there, and the highest goal scorer or point scorer this team of the week with Jota, not Jimenez this week. They've kind of rotated a little bit and he ends up with 13 points. And then the popular captain and probably one of the most highly owned players, Jamie Vardy, with another double-digit haul there with 13 points after they did play Aston Villa this weekend. But let's get on to see how my team did in Game Week 16. So as you can see on screen there, 70 points above the average of 45. We're sitting at exactly almost that 80k rank mark. I'm expecting that to go down a little bit as there is a fixture tonight, so I will update you where we do finish, but I'm thankful that it is below that top 100k, as hopefully we finish at the end of this game week below the top 100k, as that was kind of the goal going into Game Week 16. But as you can see on screen there, Ryan in goal with only 2 points, but I don't think we can complain too much about that one. That game was always going to be a hard one against Wolves, and after they opened that goal scoring with a Jota, I thought that this might be quite a rout there, so happy it wasn't. Ryan with 2 points managed to not get another save point, was just 1 save below that save point, so quite unfortunate there. But there are other keeper options that do look quite good, Guaita being the main one, but he is a little bit more expensive, so maybe we just stick with Ryan for now. But going on to the rest of the defense, Robertson with 6 points. Liverpool managed to keep a clean sheet finally. It was quite nice that Robertson got subbed off a little bit earlier, so he was guaranteed the clean sheet. But obviously the big talking point was Trent Alexander-Arnold being benched, and he did come on, unfortunately for Lovren, but unfortunately, as I said, not in time for the clean sheet there. He came on about the 35-minute mark, and as you know in FPL, you have to have 60 minutes on the field. He did not fulfill that, so no clean sheet for him. A little bit unfortunate for owners. Lundstrom and Soyuncu with 2 points each. Lundstrom conceding as well as Soyuncu. So Soyuncu's partner Johnny Evans, I think for the second game week in a row now, has got a double-digit return. So he looks like quite a good option to have. Maybe a little bit more of a differential than Soyuncu, but unfortunately do have Soyuncu. He has returned quite well recently, so I'll give him this fixture off. Then we have the newly transferred in Aurier. He was my transfer in. I took Nathan Ake out, who did get injured this week, so I was a little bit fortunate with that one, but Aurier managed to keep the clean sheet. I did not think it would be a clean sheet. I thought it might be an attacking return, as Spurs recently have not been that great defensively, but I think Burnley overall were quite shocking, so happy to get that clean sheet from Aurier. Going into the midfield, talk about De Bruyne and Sterling as one. I was not going to captain Sterling as he was up against Wan-Bissaka, so I knew it would be quite a tough afternoon, but I was still expecting something from my Man City duo. I did predict that Man City would win, so I was incorrect on that. I'm sure the Manchester United fans will be absolutely gleaming with smiles as they did beat their Manchester rivals. So De Bruyne and Sterling are making it quite hard to hold on to that pair, but we'll talk about them in the team selection. With Mason Mount started again, so it looks like he's still got that place in the team. I think it was just against the tough opposition Frank Lampard tends to bench him, but unfortunately he was not able to return anything. They were also shocked by Everton losing 3-1 there, so I was not expecting that one, and unfortunately Mount did not get on the end of that goal. Then we have our captain Mohamed Salah with 13 points, so he was my differential captain this game week. I was a little bit angry that Jamie Vardy managed to return the same amount of points as him, so it literally meant that captaining Salah or Vardy, there was nothing in it, no point of going differential in this one. I was just really happy at the end of it that Salah managed to get the same points as Vardy, as it looked like Vardy was on for the hat-trick. But with Mohamed Salah, he did start. Mane was rested, so it seems like this game week and last game week we switched. Last game week Robertson and Sulla didn't perform, but Mane and Trent did, so we just kind of done a little bit of a switcheroo there, so I'm happy to be on the receiving end of those Robertson and Sulla points. But went for the differential captain. It kind of paid off at the start, but as I said, returned the same points as Vardy, so not too much in that one, but I was still happy to get Salah's points. Then we have Vardy with 13 points. As I said, nearly had his hat-trick. Aston Villa, I highly overestimated them. They actually got quite destroyed by Leicester in that one, so was not predicting that. I thought it would be quite a closer game, but obviously Leicester are too good, or just Aston Villa were quite crummy on the day. But Jamie Vardy looks to be a certain captaincy option for the next couple game weeks now, as he looks to be in great form. But then we have Danny Ings, who's also been one of the heroes of my FPL squad. Returned another goal. Unfortunately, it wasn't 3 bonus points, just the 2, so he got 8 points. Otherwise, it would have been 9 points 3 times in a row. But Ings looks like a great option. Has a couple good fixtures coming up, but then Southampton's fixtures kind of turn. But I'm really happy to have brought him in over the likes of Abraham. That move definitely looks like it paid off with Abraham's blank, but Abraham does look like a good option for next game. We're going onto the bench. As I expected, Perez did not play. I thought he would be benched, maybe brought on later on, but he was not. It seems like Leicester went for a different formation this time. If they want to play one up front with Jamie Vardy, it looks like Perez does start, but otherwise if Iheanacho accompanies Vardy up front, then Perez is on the bench. But it kind of fills me with a little bit of doubt over next game week, because I don't know if he will be starting. They do have a really nice fixture, but we'll talk about that, as I said, in the team selection. Then we go into Greenwood, who did not play, and Lascelles is injured, so no news there. But overall, happy with that green arrow there, and hopefully it can be continued tonight after this Arsenal game, and then we'll be looking in good stead for the rest of the FPL season. But let's get on to some transfer options that I am considering for next game week. So as you can see, 2 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 1 striker are currently on my watch list. So Martin Kelly comes in at 4.2 million. He returned 8 points this week. Comes off the bench for a lot of FPL managers, so quite fortunate there, but that's what strong benches are for. But he looks to be at a great option with Ward out injured, and his fixtures speak for themselves. He has a nice run of green fixtures from now till about that end of January period, so looking to bring him in along with Baldock. We spoke about him in the team of the week. Looks to be in good form, gets a lot of goal scoring opportunities, it seems like, so you're not even almost banking on that clean sheet, you're also hoping for an attacking return, and it seems like the way Sheffield United play, a lot of their defenders get quite high forward. Going into midfield, we have Grealish at 6 million, looks to be a good option. I don't know if it'll be this game week, but Aston Villa, their fixtures turn quite soon, so he looks to be a nice option, should be playing most games, and he does love to get forward, and he is quite a almost like, don't want to say selfish player, but he always looks to kind of get the upper edge on his opponents, whether it be a little dive or something like that you saw on the weekend. So that's also a player that's also nice to own for FPL, as he usually does get some returns. But then in the other midfield positions, you all know about them, Son and Ali, or Alisson if you want to go by that. So 10 million and 8.7, you can kind of pick whoever you want to go for. Probably with most teams, the budget will kind of be the constraining factor there, but both look like good options. I'd probably say Son's going to be the more consistent, but Ali the more explosive, so you can decide whoever you want to go for. They probably won't be coming in this game week, but definitely ones that I'll be bringing in on my wildcard, maybe even doubling up on both of them. Then going up front, Marcus Rashford. We haven't really been talking about Rashford for most of the FPL season, but recently he has had a resurgence in form, and he looks to be a really good option. We spoke about in my Christmas kind of tips video how good United's fixtures are over the upcoming Christmas period, so he'll definitely be one to consider when I do wildcard. So let's get on and see what I did with my team selection. So as you can see on screen there, I confirmed it on Twitter last night. I did make my transfer ready. Martin Kelly was expected to rise, so I transferred out Lascelles for him. Reason being, I need a strong bench. Don't want Kelly to go up too much in price. He's quite cheap, so I'm expecting him even maybe to go up again in price. So for my wildcard, want to have him in my bench or even in my starting 11. And as I said, great fixtures, and he could even play this game week. Let's get on to who I'm going to be picking in my starting 11. Changes could be made, so stay tuned to my Twitter at DayvyFPL for more confirmed news. So starting off in goal, we have Ryan. Could be a little bit more of a contradiction here if I do start Martin Kelly, maybe hoping for a 0-0 in that Brighton versus Crystal Palace game. But Ryan always has the potential to get clean sheets and save points, but unfortunately recently he hasn't been performing that well. I'm just hoping that Brighton can manage to keep Crystal Palace quiet and maybe even score out there to cancel out those Guaita points. But otherwise, Ryan will probably be returning 2 points this game week, as it is an away fixture. Moving on to the rest of the defense, we have Robertson against Watford. Great fixture. Liverpool should be keeping a clean sheet in this one. Watford haven't been that great attacking wise. You saw on the weekend they couldn't even score against Crystal Palace after all those chances that they had later on. But with Robertson, attacking returns also come in handy. Just check the Champions League fixture happening tomorrow and on Wednesday night for any updates on these players if they do start or if they are rested. That should give us a good indication on the weekend team selection. But Robertson against Watford, great fixture. Lundstrom against Aston Villa. I think that Sheffield United will concede in this one. Aston Villa have been quite good going forward. Just defensively, they've been quite shoddy. So I think Lundstrom can even get an attacking return in this one. It is a home fixture, so Sheffield United will want to get back into the clean sheet swing of things as they have throughout the season. So I'm expecting big things from Lundstrom. Sionku against Norwich. Leicester should keep a clean sheet in this one. I know Norwich have also shown a resurgence attacking wise, but Leicester at home should be quite defensively sure, and Sionku should be getting some FPL points. Going into the midfield, I do have Perez in my starting lineup, but I think that he probably will be on the bench this game week. I just have a weird feeling that he will be benched again. He kind of goes on these little runs where he has a lot of starts, then he gets benched, then he has a lot of runs. So I think these are going to be one of the benching fixtures. And Ian Nacho is just playing too well to be benched, so I don't think Rodgers will be doing that to him. So Kelly will probably start over Perez, but I just have him in right now as I would prefer to play him over Kelly, as I do think that Leicester will score a lot against Norwich. Going on to the midfield, I am keeping De Bruyne and Sterling, probably quite a controversial one, but I just think that Arsenal's defense is absolutely atrocious and Man City are going to score a lot of goals against them. So I'm keeping them for this one. It's almost a little bit of a differential now with all the people transferring them out. So I'm very keen on hopefully seeing some FPL points from these to come that end of that game week 17 game week. Then we have Mason Mount against Bournemouth, also a really nice fixture. They should be beating Bournemouth, and hopefully Mount does start. We'll see midweek. If he does start midweek, that might raise some suspicions on a benching, but if he does not, then we should be good for another start from Mason Mount and hopefully some attacking returns. Then we have Salah against Watford. I think Salah and Mane have both had their rest from the Premier League now, and I'm pretty sure that they'll be playing before their Club World Cup, as I think they'll be rested in that semi-final fixture. So Salah and Mane should both be playing in this one, and Liverpool always love playing against Watford at home, so I'm expecting quite a rout there as well. Going on to our captain, Jamie Vardy. I don't think we can look past Jamie Vardy. Norwich, probably the best fixture in the Premier League right now to play against, and Jamie Vardy has great form, so that spells a massive haul from our captain hopefully. So I will be captaining Jamie Vardy probably this game week. Tempted by the likes of Salah, but I think I'll just go safe on this one. And then we have Danny Ings against West Ham. Hopefully tonight we see that West Ham's defense hasn't kind of regained much defensive ability, and then we can be very confident on owning Danny Ings. But this was one of the fixtures that I was keeping him for, so hopefully he does perform. As I said, Kelly on the bench probably will come on for Perez if Perez Perez has any rays of doubt of being benched, and Kelly should be doing a job against Brighton at home. Greenwood against Everton, not going to do much there. And then Aurier, I really think that Wolves will score against the likes of Spurs. Wolves have already qualified for the Europa playoffs, so I do think they'll rest some players midweek, and they should be raring to go against Spurs. So don't trust Spurs' defense, which is why Aurier is third on my bench. Probably will be second. I will move Greenwood to the last position, but I just did this quite quickly. But this is probably going to be the team leading up to that Game Week 17 deadline. I will hopefully be doing another stream, so stay tuned for that. I know you guys do enjoy those deadline with Dayvy streams. Stay tuned to my Twitter at DayvyFPL for future updates, and if I do make any other transfers, although I don't think so, as I already made the Kelly transfer. Like the video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you are new and have not subscribed yet. Otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed this week of content, and hopefully Game Week 17 is in the favor of all of us, and those green arrows do shine. I'm going to be signing off. This has been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.